Hey everyone, I'm going to go ahead and start part 3 of total brokerage training, which is how to send a CDA. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is navigate to my transaction. So I'll go to transactions in the left-hand panel, view transactions, and I will open up that deal that we have previously been working on. And I will navigate up to the documents panel. So as long as you use the forms wizard in order to set up this file, your CDA should already be in here. However, if you set up your file without the forms wizard, you will have to navigate up to the top right corner where it says actions, add form. Type in CDA, the box, and hit add. I do, however, already have this document in my file, so I'll go back to it. And I'll click on the name to go ahead and start completing it. So a lot of these fields are already funneling. So we're going to just go through them. We're going to click on them, make sure that all of the information is up to date and ready to go. Okay. So here I have my address. It's the property single line address. I'll click on that, make sure that it is feeding correctly. That looks good. Okay. I have my agent transaction owner name. That's me. Okay. We have our listing agent or selling agent. I am representing the buyer. So I'll go ahead and double click that selling agent. And I have my seller one's name and buyer one's name feeding. That's really all that'll fit on that line, and that's perfectly fine for the CDA. Okay, so closing date, I want to make sure my closing date is up to date and that I have the correct one in here. Let's just say maybe we got pushed back to May a little bit. So let's say we're closing on May 2nd, and I will update that information and save. Okay, sales price, I want to make sure I have the most up-to-date sales price. A lot happens between contract and closing. So let's go ahead and change this to what we are actually closing with. Okay, so commission split, this is how much you are making on the deal. Are you making 2.5%, 2.75%, 3%, 4%, 5%, whatever it may be, make sure you put your split in here, okay? We're gonna go ahead and say 3%. And then your red zone split is your split with red zone. So we're just gonna go ahead and say your 70-30. And then here we have your transaction coordinator information funneling. So I'm going to just click on that and make sure that it's correct. I do have Alicia McKay, and her email is right there. And then her cost, so her transaction coordinator fee has not been entered. So she costs $250. So I'll go ahead and save that. Okay. And so the next box, transaction fee collected from customer. Yes, it was. I'll double click on the next box for the amount collected and make sure that I have the correct amount of transaction fee, which is $650. Perfect. Okay. Matterport utilized, we'll say no, it was not. I'll double click on that box. Referral to be paid to outside brokerage. No, there's no referral. All right, so up here, the MLS number is automatically feeding, and then your customer email. Unfortunately, it's not smart enough to know if you are representing the buyer or the seller. So you will have to come up to contact buyer one and add their email, or vice versa, contact seller one and add their email. Okay, this is where the agent splits come into play. So agent name, this will be me. I'm getting 50%. This is Kara Sites LLC. She is getting 50%. Okay, and then additional notes, this is where you would let me know anything that's pertinent to your commission. So are you gifting the buyers a home warranty? So if so, how much does that cost? So that way I know how to take it off of your commission, okay? And then my title company is feeding down here. Let me just make sure I have the most up-to-date title company. I do. Perfect. And then down here, we have optional text, which means that it's going to be optional for the office admin to complete. So it's just going to make my life a little bit easier as well as yours a little bit easier. So check to agent. This is me. Okay. And then this will go to our cooperating agent. We want to make sure that we have the right person in here. So I'll unassign this field and change this. Oops. Oh my goodness gracious. Sorry about that. And change this to Kira Sites LLC. Okay, referral. If I had a referral, I would go ahead and enter their information here, but I do not, so I'll leave it blank. And then transaction coordinator, it's Alicia. So it's going to just make sure those lines are set up correctly. And at this point, everything looks good. I can save it. And so the next step is going to be to actually send this out for e-signature. So I'll head back to my transaction. I'll go to actions, request signatures. You need me to fill it out as your office admin. So you'll select office admin. You'll select that box and you'll send this off to me. Okay. All right. Meanwhile, in my inbox, I will be getting an email that says you have a document for e-signing. So I will be able to open that up. And this looks just like what it looks like for your customers as well. But this time I have fields that are actually functional for me to fill out. So the first thing is total commission. I'll go through, I'll fill out this entire thing, I'll sign the document, and I will then download the document and send it off to title. And it's nice because this will already be in your file, so you have access to it. So if for whatever reason title company can receive it or anything like that, you guys can easily access it through your transaction. That's really it. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to myself, Kira, or any of the managers, and we would be happy to help you. And just, yeah, ask any questions you have.